Leigh-Anne communicated with her mother Pietru not long before she reunited with Ian. Leigh-Anne sent a voice note to let her mother know she landed safely in Brazil, and that was the last Pietru ever heard from her beloved daughter. With this video, we will be taking a look at the relationship dynamics between Leigh-Anne McKenzie and Ian Hay. She called him a friend when she moved in with him, and it's not very long after that he brutally assaulted Leigh-Anne. Hi guys, welcome back to Crime Science. To all the new viewers, welcome. Here we talk all things true crime. You get regular updates on current cases and the occasional deep dive on mostly solved or cold cases. If that's something you like, please subscribe. It's completely free and helps this channel more than you know. Also make sure your notification bell is turned on so you never miss an upload. Please also share this video with as many people as you possibly can, and remember to hit the like button if you find any value in this content. Thank you so much for all the support I've already received. You mean so much to this channel. Also voice your opinion in the comment section down below. I love reading all your comments and your interaction is so powerful. Pietru, that's Leigh-Anne's mother, was on edge about Leigh-Anne visiting Ian, obviously due to what had already happened in the past, and we know that past behavior is predictions for future behavior. I don't have a timeline for this, but the moment Pietru couldn't get a hold of Leigh-Anne again, she knew something serious happened. She immediately reached out to the South African embassy in Brazil. Pietru then heard from a Brazilian journalist that her daughter died. I really don't know procedures for this kind of thing in Brazil, but I cannot think that having a journalist call you about your daughter's death is the right way to find out. Not that there's any right way, but you get what I'm trying to say. Pietru is now walking around with so much guilt. She tried to stop Leigh-Anne to go to Brazil, but she didn't want to listen. Her feeling is that she didn't do enough to stop her daughter, and now it's too late. Honestly, what could she have done? According to Pietru, Ian also paid for Leigh-Anne's ticket to go to Brazil. My assumption is that that's true. This couldn't have been a cheap flight ticket, as it's about 11 hours flight from Houston to Brazil. That's depending on what cities you fly from and to. And we know that Leigh-Anne wasn't financially stable. Leigh-Anne was never supposed to have any contact with Ian after the assault, but we also know that there is often in these cases so much emotional abuse and manipulation. And in most cases, the abused always go back to the abuser, especially if they have the upper hand at finances. I have a few questions about this Brazil trip. Was there already a return trip booked for Leigh-Anne? According to Pietru, Leigh-Anne told her she's only going back to see him one last time and collect a few belongings. I really don't understand why Ian would have taken Leigh-Anne's belongings with him from the US to Brazil, and that it's so important to Leigh-Anne that she just had to go back and get it. Did Leigh-Anne tell her mother the truth? To fly 11 hours to see someone one last time? How long did it take Leigh-Anne and Ian to meet up after he posted bail? We know the assault happened on the 21st of October. We are not 100% sure when Ian was arrested and locked up for this. We also know that Ian went to Brazil in December, but was reportedly granted bail on the 21st of November. We know from the Gabby Petito case that she and Brian Laundrie were only separated a few hours before meeting up again. So my feeling is that it didn't take long for them to meet up again. I would also think that there was communication between Leigh-Anne and Ian while he was still in jail. According to Pietru, Leigh-Anne came home to visit her in South Africa late last year. Leigh-Anne also came back to South Africa again after the assault. I don't have specific dates, so I'm also not sure when she went back. We at least know that Leigh-Anne spent New Year's 2025 in South Africa. So Ian had such a grip on her that she actually left home again to go back to him. Okay, back to the actual Brazil visit. I really don't think Ian lured Leigh-Anne only to take her life. I think there's so much more to this. Ian and Leigh-Anne lived a life most of us will never understand, and that also plays a big role in what happened and how Ian had a hold on Leigh-Anne. As much as I personally don't understand that lifestyle, I will never judge, so please know that I mean no disrespect. Before we move on, let's take a look at what the police found in Ian's apartment. I'm not going to read it out loud, but it will be displayed on the screen for you to read. So, there's still so much information missing, but what we do know is that the neighbors heard but thought it was fireworks. I'm not sure, but it seems as if the shot was heard on the 19th, and the 20th of July neighbors raised alarm, having seen blood leaking from the ceiling. Police found Leigh-Anne and Ian slumped over the bed, Leigh-Anne allegedly twice and Ian then turning the on himself. Looking at what was found in the apartment, we know that substance abuse was a part of their lives, and I still wonder if that was another way for Ian to control Leigh-Anne. I understand that it must be difficult for Leigh-Anne's family to hear that she was also abusing substances, especially if they don't live or understand the lifestyle, but it's something we need to discuss. We currently have no proof that Leigh-Anne was using, but let's be real for one moment. Take a look at this video posted by Leigh-Anne. And this video still isn't confirmation that she was also using, but the fact that she posted a video like this would suggest familiarity to substance. With the amount of syringes found, I also don't think that Ian was using all of that in one day himself. Now we can also say that it's only his and he just didn't clean up before Leigh-Anne came to visit. Doesn't that say that he is openly using it in front of her? You also don't IV if you're a first-time user. I highly doubt that Leigh-Anne would travel 11 hours to see someone for one last time if she knew he would be out of it for most of the time. Again, I'm not here to judge her lifestyle, but we have to take it into consideration. So what does it do to your body? It gives the user an energy boost and stimulates the brain's reward pathway. It can also send the reward path into overdrive, resulting in instant excitement and inflates a sense of self-confidence. On the extreme end, users may also experience psychotic delusions, and all that excess energy can cause heightened aggression. It is also the of choice in the clubbing culture. We don't know if Ian also shared Leigh-Anne's love for clubbing, but this was definitely a huge part of her life. And I'm not saying that every person in their videos is confirming that they're using substance. I am also not saying that someone who loves the clubbing life is using. I'm only saying that if you are part of that culture, that's very likely that substance also play a role in your life. Moving on from that, we also know from Leigh-Anne's own videos that she was no stranger to in fact, she was quite comfortable handling it, and it's just so sad looking back at it, knowing what we know now. Well, this is how far I'm going to take it for now. If you haven't yet, please check out my previous video on this case. In my next video, I will be taking a deeper look at who Leigh-Anne was. Please go and take a look at the backer-buddy Pietro created to raise funds to bring her baby girl home. Yes, the South African Leigh-Anne McKenzie is still in Brazil, and her mother is desperately raising money to be able to lay Leigh-Anne to rest. So if you can, open your heart. They need 120,000 rand to bring Leigh-Anne home, and funds on this day of me filming is standing on almost 30,000 rand. Please also share this video with as many people as you possibly can. There will be no justice for Leigh-Anne or her family in this case. The best we can do is to share this video, and hopefully enough people will see and donate. Let's bring Leigh-Anne home. Until next time, bye.